Here we go. I admit I was the first one on the scene after the explosion, but there was no bloody writing there at the time. Anyway, there's no way Detective Arm could have written it. She struck her head on rubble and died near the courtroom entrance. She was too far away from where the bloody message was found. So you're saying that the victim's body was nowhere near where the writing was? Precisely. It is as plain as day she could not have written it. Dude. The second we get a DNA test for this writing, and also get a DNA test or a luminol test on our fingertips to see if there's any blood there, you're fucked. You're actually just done. What's with this testimony? It's shit. Precisely. It is as plain as day that she could not have written it. It's true that the body was discovered near the entrance to the courtroom. Please, have a look at this crime scene photo. Is this zoomed out a little bit more? As you can see, there is blood on the rubble near the victim's body. She must have died after hitting her head there. Is this a different photo? It is a different photo. There's the rebar sticking out. You don't see the blood in this picture. Alright then, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. Do you have what it takes to take my infallible testimony apart? Yeah, sure. Well, let's just take a look.
Hold it!
You were able to tell this even with those goggles on? With these goggles, there's no way I could have missed something like that. I can see quite well with them. In fact, I can see every hair on your spiky head. Oh, you have a few grays, Mr. Wright. What? Poor Mr. Wright. You're always working so hard keeping our office together. Wait a minute, I don't have any gray hairs. Just kidding.
Objection!
I object to the witness's attempt to prematurely give me gray hair. Mr. Tonate, this court frowns upon untoward comments on a person's hair, or lack thereof. I'm sensing a great wave of sorrow coming from the judge. My apologies, Your Honor. May I please continue my testimony?
Hold it!
If she didn't write it, then who do you propose did? Mr. Justice, of course. Just before dying, he wrote the name of his attacker, Juniper Woods. A final message from your poor subordinate. Poor Mr. Justice. I'm starting to get all misty-eyed. Apollo is not dead, folks. So, how can you be so sure it wasn't Detective Arm who wrote the message? It is very simple. She had struck her head on rubble and died near the courtroom entrance. Why am I getting the prompt? Oh, right, because it's back to the testimony.
Hold it!
Do you imagine she was thrown back by the force of the blast? Bomb can inflict damage not only from the explosion itself, but also substantial secondary damage from the blast wind. Detective Arm unfortunately hit her head on some rubble. It's stated in her autopsy report as well. Cause of death, trauma to the back of head. Ah, the autopsy report. Better take another look at that. Now, do you see? Detective Arm could not have written that message. The reason for that being? She was too far away from where the bloody message was found. Died near the courtroom entrance. Impact with a flat object. You know, that's a corner.
Objection!
Let's talk about that. You are a terrible liar, Mr. Tonate. Take a look at this autopsy, specifically the part about Detective Arm's head injury. Cause of death, trauma to the back of head caused by impact with a flat object. Yes? What about it? Now take a good look at the bloody piece of rubble. It's sharp and pointed. Hey, you're right, boss. It is pointy. Just like your hair. Just like your hair. Watch yourself, Athena. That is odd, isn't it? Could be the meaning of this contradiction. I believe it means the victim did not hit her head on this piece of rubble. The bloodstain you see here is just another fabrication. Its purpose is to mislead us into thinking the victim died near the courtroom entrance. Are you claiming the culprit moved the victim's body? Did you not do any kind of, investigation on her clothes either? That's exactly what I'm claiming. The victim hit her head at some other location. Most likely on the floor, or some other flat surface. And this location was somewhere near where the bloody writing was found. In that case, she definitely could have written the message. Your Honor, I have the results of the bloodstain analysis. Ah, very good timing. Let's take a look. According to this report, the message was written in Detective Arm's blood. And as the defense claims, only the parts of the message that were added afterwards were written in Mr. Justice's blood. It would appear that the defense's assertion is correct after all. Hooray! Yes! You did it! You're right, boss! Now I have to drive it home. I'll have to take a good look at the bloody writing analysis later. Let's see... Candace Arm, age 27. All Justice, age 23. And then, of course, this is probably going to be used as evidence because there's the very obviously removed block. Just cut off here and not focused on here. Okay. Mr. Tonate, it is now apparent that you have told several lies to this court. I hope you have some sort of explanation for yourself. Fine, I will confess. You will? But then, why are you so calm? I'm used to people breaking down before they confess. This time, I will tell the truth. It is true that Detective Arm wrote my ID number. She very plainly wrote L10015R. I was shocked, but I did not detonate the bomb. Detective Arm must have mistaken me for the real bomber. Not wanting to be accused, I moved the body and covered the writing. My bad. Oh, a little whoopsie-doodle. I see. So is your assertion that you merely moved the body, is that it? That is correct. I did not kill Detective Arm. Oh, well, if that's all you did, then... Wait a minute. That in and of itself is a criminal act. Glad to see you finally cross that finish line, Your Honor. Very well, then. Your cross-examination, please, Mr. Wright. The truth. Hi. Can we talk about that real quick?
Objection!
I just want to make doubly sure that L10015R is really what you saw written in blood. Yes, it is very clear. It very clearly said L10015R. But that's odd, because that's not what I see.
Objection!
What on earth are you babbling about now? Wasn't it you who claimed the bloody writing was his ID number in the first place? Take a good look at the photo in the bloody writing analysis. Now, tell me, does it really say L10015R? Oop. Eep. Something is missing, isn't it? And that something is the final R. What is the meaning of this, Mr. Tonate? Oh, right. Now I remember. There was no R on the end. It was just a slip of the finger. My bad. Come back, my beautiful contradiction. Mr. Wright, I'm not so sure it was a simple slip of the finger. You have something for me, Athena? I sense that he's extremely agitated, almost panicked. He does look pretty flustered. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears it was nothing more than a mere mistake. I don't know. Did he really just make a typo? What about that R? Did Mr. Tony really see it? Oh, he actually saw it. Maybe Mr. Tony really did see the R. There's no R anywhere in the bloody writing. What's going on here? Huh? Now that I take a good look at the photo, I think maybe... That's it! Wow, what is it now, Mr. Wright? My ear... Are you trying to imitate Apollo and his cords of steel? I got it! So that's what happened. A slip of the finger. Is that really all it was? Because I don't think so. I propose that Mr. Tone really did see the letter R. But the photo clearly shows there's no R. No, Your Honor. Actually, just the opposite is true. The photo shows that Mr. Tone actually could have seen the R. If you're going to make that claim, then you'd better point out to what you mean. What part of the photo shows that Mr. Tone could have seen the R? Right here.
Take that!
Please look here, to the right of the 5. Do you see a little bit of red? Oh, I see it. Just on the edge where the floor is broken up. That's the R Mr. Tonate saw.
Objection!
It's true that the witness wears some very, very odd goggles. But that doesn't mean his eyesight is bad, nor his brain power. What part of this little smudge looks like an R to you?
Objection!
But what Mr. Tonate saw wasn't that little smudge. There was a whole incomplete R written there, before the floor was damaged by the explosion. Oh, well, that explains it. Huh? Care to explain what you mean? But because you just proposed that everything happened in the exact opposite order. Yep, because that's the way it really went down. Timing of when the R was written turns everything about this case around. Now then, if the floor was damaged by the explosion, when was the message written? With the bloody message running off the edge of the damaged floor like that, we can only conclude that it was written before the explosion. But that's ridiculous! If that were true, it overturns their own premise. That's right, it does. In fact, it turns everything upside down. The victim was not killed by the explosion in the courtroom. She was killed before the explosion ever occurred. What kind of preposterous claim is that? Have you forgotten the victim's body was found at the scene of the explosion?
Objection!
True, but consider this scenario. She was hit on the head and killed before the explosion, or even before the trial began. Her body was subsequently placed in the courtroom ruins after the bombing occurred. That way, it could be made to look like she was a victim of the blast. It sounds like we had better look into what the victim was doing before the trial. Mr. Payne, did anyone see Detective Arm before the trial? Let's see. According to the police report... here it is. One person saw the victim before the trial. And that person was... Ted Tonate. Wait, what? No one beside Mr. Tonate saw the victim? That appears to be the case, Your Honor. Man, he's sweating so hard his mask is sweating. His helmet. I would now ask the court to recall something. Specifically, Mr. Tonate's words from yesterday. Oh my! Mr. Tonate, just before the trial you were with the victim. The two of you were together at the scene of the crime, courtroom number 4. Your Honor, the defense requests new testimony from Mr. Tonate. We wish to hear what he has to say about his whereabouts just before the trial. Mr. Tonate, your testimony, please. My testimony? There's no need for... Garble. He's completely unnerved, Mr. Wright. You must have hit the nail on the head. Because opt. All I did was transport the bomb to the courtroom. I already told you. Wow. Blast this thing. I was only in the courtroom with the victim because of our work. I swear I was only transporting the bomb there.
Objection!
You and the victim were alone together at the scene of the crime. In other words, you certainly had the opportunity to commit murder, did you not? Do you always leave yourself so open to attacks, Mr. Wright? What now, Mr. Payne? Yes, Mr. Tony may have had the opportunity to kill Detective Arm. But an important piece of your assertion is missing. What important piece? The murder weapon. What do you claim was used to kill the victim? I mean, technically you're missing a murder weapon as well. Because she was killed by a flat slab, or a flat weapon of some sort, but we've been operating off the assumption that she bonked her head against a sharp piece of rubble. Also, the time of death is way, way fucked up. Between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m., when the court typically starts at 10? Mr. Payne has a point. Even if Mr. Tony had the chance, without a weapon, we can't accuse him of the crime. And if we can't, we don't have any murder weapons on hand. Well, Mr. Tonate? Oh, yes, that's right. I didn't have any sort of thing that could be used as a murder weapon on me. I couldn't possibly have killed Detective Arm. Did he really have nothing he could use as a murder weapon? What is it, Athena? I mean, we do have one thing on hand. A very, where is it? A decently heavy cube. What is it, Athena? Just looking over the victim's autopsy report. I'm hoping there's something in here that can point us in the right direction. Well, it does say that she died from trauma to the back of the head with a flat object. Yeah, and to inflict that specific kind of injury, all you would need is a flat surface, right? A heavy, blunt object with a flat surface could definitely be our murder weapon. Well, Mr. Wright, could you indicate for the court what was used to kill Detective Arm? I believe I can. Believe being the key word here. You can? Then, please do so now. What did Mr. Tonate have that could have been used as the murder weapon?
Take that!
Mr. Tonate, you say you didn't have anything that could be used as a weapon. But in fact, you had the perfect thing. What the devil are you talking about? You had this. That's the bomb. I thought you were trying to prove that the victim wasn't killed by the bomb blast. The bomb blast, no. But I believe Candace Arm was killed with this bomb. Because this is the blunt object that delivered the final blow to her head. Please, recall the description of Detective Arm's head wound. Trauma to the back of the head caused by impact with a flat object. We assume this injury was sustained when her head hit the floor. But a blow from any flat side of this bomb would produce the exact same wound pattern. Gog! Ugh. Don't smack a bomb against any surface, please. You okay there? What's with him? Then show me some proof. Where's the exact evidence? Where's the evidence that I hit the victim with the bomb? The bombs exploded. He's right. I don't have anything decisive. Did you find any of the victim's blood on the bomb? That would be decisive proof. But too bad. The bomb is blown to bits. It's long gone. Boom. Game over. Game over, yeah! That's right. Is there really nothing on the bomb in the photo? I don't see any blood or anything. Wait. The timer display is a little broken here. Maybe it broke when it made contact with Detective Arm's head. That's definitely a distinct possibility. But unless we find a fragment with the victim's blood on it, it's not going to count. Guess you're right. By setting off the bomb, Tony managed to obliterate all traces of the murder weapon. What in the world do I do now? At times like this, I've got to change gears and look at things in a different way. Instead of looking for the things that he wasn't able to hide, I should be looking for a way to expose the things that he did hide. Ted Toney murdered Detective Arm before the trial started. Then he placed her body in the courtroom after the body went off. Which means there was something he needed to keep hidden until then. And I think I have just the thing. Time to present the photo that shows exactly what Mr. Toney had to hide. I mean, he had to hide the body. So, wouldn't that be the autopsy report? Because this has literally a photo of the body.
Take that!
Your Honor, there's something we've all been overlooking. If the murder took place before the trial, then Mr. Toney would have had to hide the body somewhere during the trial. Hey, you're right. If we can figure out where that hiding place was. Exactly. We might be able to find some evidence we can pin him down with. So where could Mr. Toney have hidden the body during the trial?
Take that!
Wait. Box big enough for a body. Box that was in the courtroom the whole time. A box nobody would touch if they thought there was a bomb in it. Mr. Toney! What is it? Do you finally have some decisive evidence to show me? No. You're the one who's going to show it to me. Come again? You heard me. Now, show me what's inside the bomb transport case. What? Why? No! There's no need! I've got him now. Just before the trial, you killed the victim with a blunt object. And then you placed her body in the ruins of the courtroom after the bomb went off. Clearly, you were trying to make it look like she died in the explosion. But where was the body hidden during the trial? Oh, I hadn't thought of that. The answer is right here. Inside a box made of thick alloy plating that can withstand any impact. No, that's completely false. If it's false, you should have no objections to showing us your transport case. So, let's open it up and take a look inside, shall we? With some DNA evidence if necessary. Let's not. Not if you value your life. Value your life? What's he up to now? Remain calm and listen carefully. This bomb will detonate in 5 minutes. What? Huh? I repeat, this HH-3000 will detonate in 5 minutes. What's going on? Your Honor, I recommend you adjourn this trial before this bomb goes off. Mr. Toney, are you threatening me? I am the only one who can disable this bomb. If you do not want to die, your only option is to listen to me. Mr. Toney, didn't you say that's just a training model? A fake to practice on? I did, but I also lied. This is the real deal. This is the HH-3000. But the HH-3000 used to blow up the courtroom number 4, wasn't it? How do you know what was the real HH-3000 that blew up the courtroom number 4? Huh? The bomb that blew up the courtroom was a different one. One that I made. What? Then are we to take that as a confession on your part? Take it any way that you would like. Just before the trial, I took the HH-3000 out of the stuffed animal and put my own bomb into it. That was the bomb that exploded and destroyed courtroom number 4. Mr. Toney, please be reasonable. Do you really expect us to believe a crazy story like that? The HH-3000. It is so unique. I had never seen anything like it. So unique that I could not replicate the detonation mechanism. So, I just had to have it. Besides, did anyone look inside the stuffed animal during the trial? Did anyone check to see if it really was the HH-3000 in there? I must confess, no one opened the stuffed animal to check. So there really is a possibility the bomb was switched out? No, not a possibility. A certainty. I did it. So he had a real bomb with him this whole time? You better get out of here while you can. You do not have much time. I'm out of here. It's gonna blow. Run! You four are still here? Well, well, aren't you brave? It just wouldn't do for the judge presiding over this court to run. But that horrible explosion the other day. The judge looks like he's about to book it for the nearest exit any second. As for Mr. Payne... Hi, that is... Oh, I don't want to be loud, though I guess people are watching football downstairs and they're being loud as well. But you know what? Nah. And he's off. Mr. Wright, what do we do? It'd be pretty pathetic to run now, wouldn't it? But the bomb might really go off. Only 3 more minutes, folks. Is that bomb really the HH-3000? What should I do? Run like a yellow-bellied chicken. Stand my ground. I can't run now. Well, it's been fun, but I will be going now. With my dear, dear H-3000, naturally. Oh, and by the way, I would advise against having me followed. Even with no remote switch, this bomb can still be triggered manually. If I think I'm being followed, I will detonate it on the spot. Farewell.
Hold it!
You're not going anywhere, Ted Tonate. No? Your Honor, there's no reason to be afraid. That bomb is a fake. Are you sure, Mr. Wright? More of your famous bluffing? Even at the risk of your own life? Mr. Wright, none of your bluffing now. Not at a time like this. Lives on the line here. I'm not bluffing, and I have proof. You do? Yes, of course, Your Honor. It's right here in the photo of the bomb, clear as day. Proof that Mr. Tonate's bomb is not the real HH-3000. Really? Out with it then, immediately! Where is the proof that what Mr. Tonate has? Where is the proof that what Mr. Tonate is holding is not the real HH-3000? Well,
Take that!
the display is broken. The display for the timer on the bomb in the photo is broken. Most likely, it broke when Mr. Tonate used the bomb to attack Detective Arm. The display on the bomb in front of us is not broken. Oh, you're right. Therefore, this is not the real HH-3000. Mr. Tonate was clearly lying when he said he switched out the bomb in the stuffed animal. The real HH-3000 blew up in courtroom number 4. This bomb is nothing more than a fake, a model used for training purposes. Fear not, Your Honor. I'll examine the inside of the bomb transport case myself. Yes, please do that, Mr. Wright. What is that? Is that a bloodstain? Just as I expected. Your lies have all been blown to bits, Mr. Tonate. I'm confident DNA analysis on this bloodstain will confirm that it's Detective Arm's blood. And that those results will conclusively prove that you murdered Detective Arm. Break down, break down. How about it, Mr. Tonate? Think you can dismantle this decisive evidence? Dismantle it? You're too late! You missed your chance to run, so now you're out of time! This HH-3000 is about to explode! Don't try to threaten us, Mr. Tonate. I've already proved that your bomb is a fake. It's real. This bomb is the real thing, I tell you! It's real. Mad Bomber, party of 1. There's no time left. It's going to blow. I have to disarm it. I have to take it apart. I can dismantle anything. I can take apart evidence. I can take apart bombs. I can dismantle it all. Dismantle, 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 dismantle. I'm not gonna make it. Only one thing left to do. Stop! That was a little bit of a delay. Made it! Oh, well, see ya. Game over. Dismantle attempt failed. Oh, you're back up. It's all over. My life has been blown to pieces. It's all that stupid woman's fault. I was selling the bombs I disarmed on the black market. When I tried to take this one, she just had to notice, didn't she? She confronted me in courtroom number 4 that day. That's why I had no choice. Before I knew what I was doing, I hit her. It's all her fault. When I was looking for a place to hide her body, she left a message in her own blood. The trial was about to start, so I didn't have time to clean it up. And now all this. I thought for sure I could disguise her death with an explosion. Then that stupid defense attorney started sticking his nose into my business. After my testimony yesterday, I went to courtroom number 4 and I found that kid all up in my bomb transport case. That's when I snuck up behind him and BAM! When the idiot police arrested that little girl, I thought for sure I could pin it all on her. Why? Oh, why? Hey, why did you admit to selling bombs on the black market? Ones that were your job to properly dispose of and dismantle. On top of course, murder, attempted murder, perjury, and tampering with the crime scene. You just felt like you needed a tack on a 5th one for good measure. Ted Tonate, you are hereby under arrest on suspicion of the courtroom bombing and the assault on Mr. Justice. Your innocence or guilt will be determined at a later trial. Now then, I see that members of the public have returned to the gallery. One person, however, seems to still be running far, far away. Be that as it may, I will now announce Miss Juniper Woods' verdict. Not guilty! Show me that confetti. Hey, welcome back, literally everybody. Yeah! What was his name again? Grimace Payne? Defendant, lobby number 5. You did it, boss! Yeah, I guess we managed to pull it off somehow. So many mysteries cleared up all at once. It was amazing. It just sort of worked out that way, didn't it? That's not a kind of thing that usually just works out. You made it happen. And the way the mean old prosecutor hightailed it out of here, that was great! Mr. Wright, Athena, thank you for everything you did for me. I'm so happy for you, Junie. Now you can go back home to the forest in peace. I hope the both of you will come and visit me there sometime. That would be nice. Thank you for the invitation. I don't know, Mr. Wright. I'm not sure you can make it all the way up to Junie's house. How high up do you live again, Junie? Around 3,000 feet, I think. What? That's no forest, that's a mountain. But you know, boss, there's something that still bothers me about the case. One little mystery we never got around to solving. Oh, that? Yeah, I was wondering about that too. Is this the unsolved mystery you're thinking of? Badge!
Take that!
The remote switch, right? Yeah, I wonder where it disappeared to. Maybe Mr. Tony just got rid of it somewhere. Yeah, it is a pretty big thing to leave unsolved though. Well, let's leave it up to the police to find. For now, we should be celebrating our non-guilty verdict. I guess you're right. Hey, I know, Junie. So shall we go report the good news? You know, to that certain someone. Okay. Huh? Her grandmother? No, silly, to Apollo. Oh, right. Oh, why don't we all go to the hospital together to see him? Great idea. I bet he's bored out of his mind. Okay. And so the courtroom bombing case came to a close. The next trial was just over the horizon. There's never a dull moment with so many lawyers in the office. That's for sure. Apollo Justice, Athena Sykes, and me, Phoenix Wright. Between the three of us, there's no case we can't solve. When our powers combine, we are Captain Planet. When our powers combine, we're an unstoppable team. At least, that's what I believed. But all of that changed with what Apollo said to us that day. It was something that would put my faith in us to the ultimate test. Date, ? Time, ? Write anything, agency.
Sorry, but I'll be taking a leave of absence.
Wait, what do you mean by a leave?
Can you at least give me a reason why?
I can only say that this is something I must settle on my own.
Can't believe you'd make Trucy cry like that. Unbelievable.
Oh, why, Apollo? Why are you shutting us out?
Ever since you put that jacket on, you've changed. Now, for whatever reason, all my mind keeps doing is returning to the day I first met you. We had tackled our first case together, he and I. It's past spring. And as we did, I came to know who he is and how he thinks. It was a very peculiar case, one in which the victim was killed by a mythical creature. End. Well, very cool. Oh, it's been a short stream, but I think I'm gonna stop things here. I think my my voice classes that I took yesterday was a little harsh on my voice. I can feel a little bit rough on the bottom range, and it's been showing a little bit in the stream. So I'm gonna just take the rest of the day to rest. I will also check in with friends to see how long tomorrow's case, the next case is. If it's another short case, I'm going to stream it tomorrow. Otherwise, I will probably do something else tomorrow, and then save the case for next week so I can have 2 days dedicated to it. Anyway, thanks so much for stopping by. Until next time.